Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 221 of the High Sensitivity Podcast, and thank you for listening. If it's your first time here, we talk about video game and movie news, as well as we watched or played over the week. My name is Barry, officially an old person. I'm keeping this in, I don't
That's
care
what
anymore.
happens when you get old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
start
you're
studying
losing it.
over you. Along with my fellow ancients.
My fellow ancients, my name is Craig,
God.
reprising the role as Craig.
My name is also Craig. It's good to see you back in your original spot and not sitting directly behind me. Though now we don't know who that is behind
Now
me.
that's a scary movie. Are we thinking like Unfriended in a way? Who is that then?
Yep. Who's there?
Our special guest.
Yep.
It's Alan Wake. We should
Yep.
get Alan Wake on here.
Wake.
But what we can get on here every week is the news.
Yes.
And for the most part, it's just going to be a bunch of Gamescom stuff. That's primarily what happened. I'm going to go over I pretty much wrote a list of of everything I thought was worth mentioning. You guys let me know if I missed anything.
Sure.
All right. We got the reveal for Borderlands 4. Mafia Old Country. It's a prequel.
Yes.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, December 9th on Xbox and PC, and spring 2025 for PS5. Dying Light the Beast, Directive 8020, Goat Simulator Remastered, Lost Records Bloom and Rage, Arc Raiders public play test available on August 24th and 27th, Monster Hunter Wild showing off the Scarlet Forest and a couple animals or monsters in that region.
Yep.
Sid Meier's Civ 7, February 11th. Marvel Rivals, December 6th. And like movie/game related, Secret Level is the animated series being developed by Amazon Prime with one-off stories including characters like Kratos and Mega Man and Warhammer, 40K series, and Sifu.
Yeah. I think you hit the major ones.
Yeah, I'm not hearing anything that you miss as I'm going through my list. I think you talked about everything.
We got a deeper look at Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
We did.
Any better? Any better expectations on that?
Not really.
I'm still solidified in the slightly excited category. I think I moved from just kind of like a deadpan kind of feeling about it. Now I'm kind of just like, sure, let's see it. Like, I'll play it.
We did get another trailer for Little Nightmares 3, which I
really want to play.
And there's the other one they're working on. It looks kind of like Little Nightmares, but it's co-op.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Oh my god, I forget what it's called.
Oh my god, what is it called?
But that looked great as well.
I just actually watched the trailer too. Dang it.
Looks even creepier than Little Nightmares, actually.
Agreed.
So Barry, you and I will play that one.
Yeah, yes. I'll give it a shot. Why not?
I think it'll be fun.
They know what they're doing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
is it called Reanimal? Is it Reanimal?
Yeah,
Reanimal.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember now the moment you said it. So let's go over the big stuff that happened. Yep. They opened the show up with Borderlands 4. Mm-hmm. No gameplay, just a trailer letting us know it's coming out next year, which means it's been in development for quite some time. I feel like we'll probably get gameplay at the Game Awards later this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm excited for Borderlands 4. I had a lot of fun with 3. And I think as long as it's not Tiny Tina's.
Yeah.
I hope they shelve that as its own separate, just we wanted to do this and we did it kind of thing, you know.
I could be wrong, but I almost got the feeling that like maybe they wanted to hold on to this until like a Game Awards, but because of how bad the movie was doing, this is them kind of like saving that franchise's name a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
They're like, quick, just throw like how quick can you come up with a 45-second trailer just so people are like, oh yeah, the game's coming out. And also, the movie's going to be on digital next Friday because it's doing so poorly. But
right,
it did kind of feel like that. Like I'm excited for another Borderlands for sure, but it was kind of like, hey, remember the games are okay.
Yeah. It's not all bad. Yeah, that should be good.
Mhm.
Mafia: The Old Country.
Woo!
It makes me really want to play. Like, I never played the Mafia games. I have.
You haven't
Like,
played any of them?
no.
Never
Man,
played
this
any
was
of them.
highlight of my show of Gamescom for me. The first Mafia remastered is on Game Pass right now.
Yeah, and I have the remaster on PS4.
Okay,
Which I've thought about streaming for quite some time.
great game.
So,
Yeah, I'm super excited about this too, and I'm only to Barry to show you how I guess impactful Mafia games are. I only played 3 when they like deviated to a different type of Mafia, different location. What was that? What was that like? Louisiana. It was like
Yep,
Bayou.
in the 70s.
Yeah, in the 70s, and
Hmm.
that was fantastic. And that's I just played 1, and I'm excited for this one. So I think you'll like them if you
I'll put
isn't 3 considered the weakest of the trio
yes,
though? Yeah.
yes.
also
I'll put
something to take into note as well. And it's still we'll
I'll put
surprise you.
Mafia 2 up against any Grand Theft Auto game.
Okay.
Okay.
Period. Mafia 2 is like one of my top games.
Okay.
I'm excited.
You
Yeah.
wouldn't
No,
throw that around lightly.
No,
You
no,
you
no,
don't
no.
you don't throw that around
I would
lightly.
definitely play through like the remaster of the first one's incredible. They did a great job. Second one, they remastered it, they 4K upscaled it, but that game is just absolutely incredible.
Okay, cool. All right. I do want to get a little bit into Indiana Jones and the Great
Yeah.
Circle, December 9th, for Xbox and PC. Spring 2025 for PS5 was kind of the bigger announcement there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is kind of following a strange announcement from Sony with Horizon Forbidden West being taken off of their it was either Forbidden West or Zero Dawn has been taken off of like their included games
Mm,
games thing. You know, they're included games when you have their PlayStation Extra sort of thing.
Think it's a
So
trade?
I don't know, just because it is one of those things where Xbox has come out already multiple times and been like we are a business first,
Yep.
right.
as they are willing to bring it over. Because like I don't know really how much Sony needs Indiana Jones, especially
Mhm.
in spring of next year. There could be a whole slew of games from
Yeah.
PlayStation coming out and announced and stuff like that during the springtime. But I like the fact that we're starting to see this bleed effect into the PlayStation world. I just hope PlayStation also bleeds their stuff into Xbox.
Right.
It only sells more stuff.
Do
And
we think they'll play ball and do that?
No. I think Microsoft's going to continue to do it because I mean, I see their point, right? Like why not? It's just going to get you more copies. Um, I had it listed down. I'll just throw this in here right now for like comparison. Sea of Thieves, right? Just surpassed 1 million sales on PS5. So like it's working for them. That's 1 million copies they would have not have sold otherwise.
yeah.
So it totally makes sense why they're doing it. I wish Sony would do it because for those people like who aren't us and don't have every console who never got to play God of War or Horizon Zero Dawn, it'd be really cool if you could.
So I personally feel as though like God of War is something they would never let over,
Yeah.
nor like The Last
Yeah.
of Us, but something like Horizon, I feel like is one of those newer franchises that they would allow to be like, okay, we can sell more of those on Xbox, just because Sony's always been such a big thing about this is
Ours.
our ecosystem. These are our two biggest games, and I should include Spider-Man in that as well.
Yes.
Like those are the big 3 for Sony. And Horizon, while I love the Horizon series, has been kind of looked at in a, you know, in a meter way, like green
Yeah.
toward yellow, like somewhere in the middle there. So it's not as well received as their other exclusives.
Sure.
It's also in combo being younger. I realize you can consider the newer Spider-Mans a a younger series as well, like the Insomniac newest ones, but like Horizon's also it's got 2 mainstream games like with I guess can you consider like the one that's coming out part of that like
Yeah.
yeah, so well, I guess they have one for VR too, so that's 3. But are we counting that one for VR,
No.
which is essentially just a VR testing game? But it is like Barry, to your point, they if they're looking at numbers and fan base and such like that, it holds its own, but it is kind of one they can put at the card table, so to speak. You know?
Or it's also one of those trades where Final Fantasy VII's finally going to get their like promised stuff, and that's finally going to get to Xbox as well.
Or
Especially,
16.
yeah, especially after
Mm,
especially after Square Enix has kind of gone, yeah, like we're done with this
Yep.
platform exclusivity stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I did want to make a quick comment about Dying Light and the Beast. I was watching this trailer and I couldn't help but think like the developers went, how do we take parkour to the next level? Give them semi superhuman abilities. That is the next step. It's they've like done as much as they can in the regular parkour space with Dying Light and Dying Light 2. Now you get to be a beast while while you're parkouring around a city. I don't know, it just felt like the weirdest like
right.
next step for them to parkour. Are you guys interested in this game at all?
I I was confused because the end of the first game, right? Like you're playing the same main character from the first game. The choice is either to inject the virus into yourself and become one, or to basically kill yourself. So I'm assuming they're going with, okay, he injected and now he has those superhuman abilities or whatever. Um, I think what gives me hope is they said it's I think was like tightly crafted,
Yes.
Hmm.
which
Yeah.
to me says not as open world, which is exactly what I want from those games.
Right.
Like give me a Mirror's Edge with zombies. I'm
You know
in.
that
Mm,
there was something about the look of this trailer that was like, "Oh, I think I might give this game a chance," just because in Dying Light 2, all they ever wouldn't shut up about, unfortunately, is like, "Oh, you're going to have to play both sides of the coin here," kind of like what Outlaws is doing with
Yeah.
like all of these different factions.
yeah.
In the kind of little piece written about the game. It's some revenge tale about him getting revenge on the people. So maybe it is just a tightly compact single player, story experience about the people that tortured him, how he gets if he gets, you know, uh
Revenge.
yeah, revenge or gets cured kind of deal there. So I do see potential in where I was like, "Oh, this game looks different. This is not just our regular Dying Light. There's something hopefully a little bit better about the story."
I hope so.
Yeah, agreed.
And not all this looter shooter stuff. Like, please, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Let me just see here. I did want to Monster Hunter Wilds, the Scarlet Forest, I thought looked incredible. I like that we are expanding into other monster types. Like that monster thing is a spider for all
Right.
intensive purposes. And I do like that it's not like there's definitely going to be four-legged dragons, four-legged polar bear, furry monster type things, and snake-looking things as well. I just really loved the character design and the area design for the Scarlet Forest. I just thought it looked so cool. We have dragons with charge beams now.
Right. Right.
Like this like it's I am just the more I see this, I am just getting more excited for
Yeah.
Monster Hunter Wilds. And I just hope that like a lot of fun of Monster Hunter Wilds was playing with friends, so I'm hoping that enough people get this because I've completed all of the hunts, one through PS4 with Iceborne, and then another one on computer with a different group of friends. So it is that fun of a game.
No, no, you're right. And like, Barry, they had me initially at like the weather changes,
Hmm.
sandstorms, like in earlier footage, and then just seeing like what they're building now. All you want from Monster Hunter, you don't have to change the formula, the like initial back like bones of the game. Just keep giving us like cool monsters, expand on what I can fight or how it's going to make it harder for me to be able to slay it so that I can repeat killing it. Like, it's just that's what we want as Monster Hunter fans. So this is very promising, and I'm excited as well.
Absolutely. Now, before I start talking about the stuff that I continue to want to talk about, I want to give you guys a chance to talk about any of the games you wanted to mention or give a highlight to.
Well, I know that we already touched on it. It was Mafia. I was like super excited to see that. Let me see.
That was like by far and away the one I was like freaking out about. Not so much Borderlands, even though that was cool, but I was just like,
Yeah.
oh my god, Mafia! Like I've been asking for a new Mafia forever.
Right.
And to finally see one, man, I tell you what, give me all of those. I can't believe you haven't played those.
I bought I bought the remastered series. I just need to start it. I had never started it.
Okay. I think the Directive 8020 looks
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
thought so too.
Dark Pictures, like kind of going futuristic.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good to me. Reanimal was the other one that was really jumping out at me.
Most definitely.
I'm confused about Microsoft freaking out about Genshin Impact being on Xbox. Isn't that a free game?
It is.
But
It
I don't
definitely
know.
is.
They were like making such a big deal, and I was like, "That's cool." Like Genshin Impact's huge, but I don't know. It just wasn't, I guess, as big of a news story to me. I guess.
I don't think it's as big of a news story. Like, the only big news part of it is the fact that those games typically don't do well on Xbox ever.
Right.
So
Right.
I guess the fact that they're willing to develop it for the Xbox is like bigger news, seeing that maybe Hoyoverse sees the potential in more numbers for them, but that'd be the only way I can twist it.
By the
Yeah.
way, I'm still logging into Zenless Zone Zero to get my dailies with Hoyoverse knows what they're doing. Sorry.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I need to get back on Zenless Zone
you
Zero.
just
I did enjoy what I played.
you don't have to put 70 hours in it. Just go and get the dailies, so you can unlock characters. That's all. They got a dope stun character that's out right now. Anyway, sorry. I'm
What about
derailing us.
what about the first Berserker? How do you feel about that one?
I need to I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really frustrated by like this game because it's like the kind of weird traditional 2D style with a mix of 3D.
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those games like I kind of did for Black Myth. I probably need to wait for reviews on.
Yeah. And
Um,
the Godzilla one or Kong one that's like a side scroller.
mm,
That one looks cool to me.
that did.
Yeah.
I, I I don't know
As like
where,
a smaller bite-sized game.
yeah, I don't know where my interest in side scrollers has dwindled because I don't play them as much anymore, but that did look interesting.
Yeah.
I had a question for Barry.
Shoot.
Did you like the Persona 3 DLC thing in there?
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
a weird boss battle with Joker. I guess
yeah,
any way to kind of get people more excited to play it.
yeah,
I thought it was a little bit strange. I thought like
yeah.
maybe it would be like, okay, here are Phantom like the Phantom Thieves outfits for some of the characters
Right.
in Persona 3. That's what I expected. I didn't expect like a boss battle with him
I
having
know. Right.
his ultimate persona as it. So
Right.
I don't know how hard it's supposed to be or anything like that, but
Yeah.
it is interesting.
A message to Atlas from Barry and I. You don't have to do create insane things. You're just naturally gifted at making games. We will play whatever you want. Just keep making them. That's all.
We just have to wait till Metaphor. That's 2 months now.
Let's go. Craig's excited.
Nope.
But I'm just trying to look to see what else I want to mention. Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Interesting story. I don't know much. Do you guys know anything about this? Is this the first Lost Records game, or is this the second, or is this like the first of its kind? I guess is my main thing, because it gives so much of that Life is Strange
Yep.
vibe, but it's its own thing. Apparently,
I feel like it's just a different story than Life is Strange. I don't know. I have a hard time getting into those games anymore.
Yeah.
Just too slow for me.
But two other things. We did get another trailer for Infinity Nikki. I've never seen such an odd game thrown so much in our face.
Yep.
And according to the developers, it has 12 million pre-registered users for
and
Infinity
you're one of
Nikki.
them, aren't you?
Let's go.
I'm not. I'm actually not.
How are you not?
No, I am not. I just find it
Weird?
I can see the appeal of the game, like
Yeah.
for certain people. But
But like, I've also noticed an uptick. I know that we all watch our own different content creators and some overlap, but like there's a game out right now. And I don't know if it's an addition to another game, but it's a dress up game that people are competing and trying to like find the best outfit in a certain amount of time so that they can show out. I feel like I don't think it's on Fortnite or like, but there's a niche for this type of game, like a group of people that like would want to play something, an open world dress up MMO.
Yeah.
There's somebody out
with
there,
with slight puzzle solving mechanics with it.
right? Why can't I think of that game? Because I watch a couple of content creators that my wife and I like to watch playing it.
12,254,685 pre-registrations as of right now.
That's insane.
It is.
That's cool.
I feel like I'll try it.
Yeah.
What's this?
But I don't see myself sticking with it.
Oh, it's Roblox. There's a viral Roblox dress up game called Dress to Impress.
Oh yeah, my daughter plays that.
Yeah, like that's
Yep.
and I'm not gonna lie, man. I've been watching a lot of content creators just play it in their spare time. Like there's a uptick in that, and I think this is perfect time for Infinity Nikki to come out because there's a group that wants to play that type of game.
Maybe we're just getting too old to understand the new trends in gaming. Barry's definitely getting too
old. We're gonna have to give him a lingo book to separate like old lingo versus new lingo.
Once you hit that 30, you don't understand memes anymore. It all just goes away.
It's gonna be bad. It will absolutely be. But I had to look at my phone for a minute because I needed to look up this particular story that I wanted to mention.
Yeah,
so Pokemon Worlds happened over last week. We got champions and stuff like that, but there's a little bit of drama and a little weird stuff coming out of Pokemon Worlds 2024. So the trading card game, the Masters division, which is usually kind of teenagers to adults, had their first Chilean champion. His name is Fernando Cifuentes. And what's kind of the drama that's going on about it is he was, during one of the top 8 matches, he was playing a player named Jesse Parker, which Fernando had lost to. But Jesse, and here, I'm going to kind of just show you guys. So so the match is going on, and he beats Fernando here, and then he makes this gesture. Disqualified.
Wow.
They disqualified him from the tournament for doing unsportsmanlike conduct. For it, and Fernando would not been in that position had not it been for the for that kind of gesture there. So a lot of some people are kind of upset at the fact that he got disqualified for it. It definitely feels like he kind of ruined someone's chances at a championship, considering that the kid Fernando won,
right.
and won the whole darn thing after that. So kind of strange. I just want to know, like, I kind of get Pokemon's reasoning for it because they have always found themselves to be a children's thing.
Yep.
Right.
So I feel bad for Jesse, of course. Do I feel like he should have gotten disqualified for something like that? No. But that's rough. That is
rough.
That is a hard pill to swallow, especially when it's like if people win money for these tournaments. Like there are difference in thousands of dollars from what Jesse could have won, qualifying for the top 4, but instead didn't, and saw the kid that got in front of him because he got disqualified to win the whole thing. Felt like probably could have been him.
In essence, too, aren't they just strict in video game competitions in terms of
Nintendo is usually
yeah, with like, I mean, not only gestures, but like what we all do when we gamer rage, chair throwing, controller throwing, like to some degree,
yeah, compared to like Evo, And the stuff that gets said and done at
Yeah.
Evo when people win, that's actually pretty tame.
Right. So, but it is. I don't know. That's. I'm not.
Pokemon's considered a kid's game, though,
It
Yeah.
is.
so I get it.
Just kidding. But like, I guess they're worried about like, Mom, what did he just do?
Yeah.
You know, kind of deal. They're looking up at their parent. What was that thing he just did?
Right.
If he's a winner, I want to do that too. No,
Right.
no, Charlie, you don't. You don't want to do that, Charlie. You're too young.
Right.
But
Yeah.
that's
Well
the news
done.
I had.
That
What
was
did
well
you guys
done.
want?
That was good. In what I will call going the route of Duke Nukem Forever news, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 just got delayed again. This game's never coming out. Let's just remember, like, accept the fact that we're never going to see this game. It's supposed to be out years ago at this point. And
Right.
if it does actually come out at this point, it's probably going to be terrible. But yeah, they just kind of like threw it out there and it kind of got buried. So I wanted to make sure it got brought up for the people who maybe are still somewhat excited for it. I don't even think they had a date and just got pushed. I know Barry's excited.
That game is a hard sell at this point. You know,
Yep.
it's worse than delay levels of Suicide Squad, and I imagine they're kind of scared of, man, if Suicide Squad delayed like that, how long they delayed, and we've delayed how long we've delayed. Like, at what point do you just release it and hope you make a little bit of money
Right.
out of it?
It must
Even
be
if
in terrible shape.
Yeah, even if it's like 10 copies.
Yeah, like Redfall.
Yeah, like Redfall.
Like yeah.
Just put it out. I know, Barry, you and I talked last week about the voice actor for Misty.
Yes.
Passing away. We have another one. And I am going to attempt to pronounce her name correctly. I may get it wrong. I believe it is Atsuko Tanaka or Tanaka. Passed away this week. She was the voice actor of Bayonetta in Japan.
Oh, wow.
Also young, but I don't know what's going on with voice actors lately.
Yeah,
but if they could stop, that'd be great.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever listened to the Japanese version of her though.
I saw that news. I don't know why I didn't. She's probably fantastic.
Yeah.
As Bayonetta, I'd have to imagine. The Japanese voice actors are just next level. Like, I'm sorry, no offense. Like, no offense to American voice actors, but like, there's a reason people watch anime subbed instead of dubbed, and it is because the emotion and the ridiculousness you can get out of the Japanese language.
Oh, you just wait. That's going to come up again real soon in games we played with English voice acting. I'm going to end on my last news that is more positive. Backyard Sports is coming back, baby.
Let's go.
Let's play some Backyard Sports again.
It had a very weird resurgence.
Yeah,
like
people have been streaming it
everywhere. Yeah, on my TikTok, on Facebook. Like, all I get is recommended videos of people playing this, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't remember playing this as a child. I don't know if I ever did.
I think you were too young.
Yeah, it was. I think it was on the downward spiral.
We can't say that in 3 days.
No, because it was definitely that had to have been like late 90s, right?
Late 90s,
maybe early 2000s,
and I was like maybe 6-7 years old.
I feel it was definitely on PC.
Definitely still like playing.
I feel like it was on consoles too.
64.
Backyard Baseball 2003. So there's still some. There's still some into the 2000s.
Yeah.
Well,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming back, so I'm kind of excited to see what they do with it.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people our age, Craig and I's age, are probably going to be checking it out for nostalgia purposes. I'm more curious to see if it catches on with like younger generation.
Absolutely.
Same. Now bring back NBA Street as well,
and NFL Street,
That was wild.
And what was the other one? There was
FIFA. There was
FIFA Street. Yep.
FIFA Street was dope too.
Yep.
That was good.
Give me all three.
Awesome soundtrack too.
Yeah, that's all I had.
I mean, my news was Gamescom, so
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, we talked about doing a shorter episode, and then we talked about news for 30 minutes.
That's
So
the way it works.
let's get into the games. And the whole reason we are recording this early is because the greatest game of all time
God.
has ever been released, and it is Game Science's Black Myth Wukong. And I didn't buy it yet because I was waiting to hear from you guys.
That's fair.
Tell me about it.
That's fair.
Craig.
Tell me why this is the greatest game ever.
Who starts, Craig?
All right, so let me connect from what I was saying earlier first.
Yes, yeah, bring it in.
All right, so when you first start the game, there is a very, I'll say, God of War-esque opening sequence with a boss battle. And directly after that boss battle, you better believe I switched to Chinese voice acting because the main character's English voice actor is god awful. Absolutely terrible voice acting. Everybody else is fine. I don't know what that dude was trying to do with that voice, but it is, oh my God, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah.
Terrible. Once I switched to Chinese with English subtitles, so much better.
Right.
And luckily he doesn't talk too much.
Yeah.
But when he does, oh my God, it's grating.
It's nails
awful.
on a chalkboard.
Like, what is that? I don't know if it was just like last minute or what, but
yeah.
Oh my God, do yourself a favor and leave it on Chinese with English subtitles. Jesus.
Yeah. The difference in talent level is insane between the two. It's pretty noticeable.
Yeah, but go ahead. I just wanted to get that out there first.
No, I agree. When he was speaking about coming to his mountain and all that, I was like, who did we find this person in a bank and just said like, you know what? Like this is the person. I don't know. But I had let me go to a con, actually start with a con first. I had a little issue with the visuals. I'm not sure if it's the PS5 version. I switched from performance mode to, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the other mode now. Jesus.
Fidelity.
Graphics.
Fidelity. Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
I can't think of those standard words that are in like every settings. Yeah. I switched because it just wasn't looking too hot. That opening scene is God of War-esque, but I couldn't pay attention because of some of the I had to change the contrast to after the initial settings that I set to help fix it too, but it was just messing with me. But after that, I was having a good time. This is an interesting game because it's difficult and not. Like the fodder, main enemies, like there's
They're
like
fodder.
Yeah, they definitely are.
They definitely are fodder. Like from the beginning of the game, no upgrades, nothing. But like we were warned about this in multiple reviews and showings, but Holy Boss Battles is right.
Yep.
There's like mini bosses, mini bosses, like, and then bosses. There's secret bosses. But they're like not so secret. If you just if you just make a left instead of a right, you'll get there. And then there's like definitely where I am first area, main boss, middle of the boss, which makes sense if you get to that part. And like he gets his own cutscenes, like multiple cutscenes and a nice, so you can tell. But I'm having fun. I need a little bit more time to get it on the what Craig's game of the game scale is going to be by the end of the year, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. The areas are sectioned off, like it's not Neo, like finish this mission, go back to the main screen, select this mission yet, because like the area that I'm in, there's like sub areas. They are relatively small. I'll give them that. It's easy to find everything that you want, like in the area, all the like special stuff. And they are expanding on the combat from the initial thing, so it's becoming a lot more intricate for me. So I'm enjoying that as well, because like you have your own section of moves, light, heavy attack and such like that, but then you also gain additional stuff for beating enemies that you can use. But there's like two versions of that There's like one where you can turn into the enemy, like they were saying, and that's like a whole thing that I got from beating like a optional boss. But then there's like additional ones that you can get that are a different button press that they show up, they do a move, they dip. So as far as like when you're fighting something, there's multiple things you can pull out of your pocket. I think that's what keeps the gameplay fresh because he's not doing a lot of different moves by pushing square and triangle at different times. Like, like there's like that set kind of just repeats itself. I get it. Where it's shining is how many different things that you can pull from after you beat the enemy designated for that. And then you can use everything against it. Like I when I turned into the guy that you inevitably beat to get his power, the person that I was fighting next actually commented on it. They were like, "Oh, you've turned sides," or he said something like, "Or I didn't think I'd see." Like, they're adding that into their gameplay. So at first glance, it's like 8 out of 10 for me, maybe 7 or 8 out of 10. I don't know. I'm interested to hear Craig's thing because I'm kind of a sucker for these games. Um,
Uh, yeah, I don't know. It feels more like a God of War than a Souls for sure. You have those moments where you're like just blowing through enemies, then you'll come across a side boss or a mini boss, and you'll get, it'll get handed to you a couple times in a row, and you'll die, and you'll be like, okay, I need to actually focus for this one. There is a lot of bosses. I think the story's interesting enough. I just I'm gonna play through the whole thing, and then I'll probably make up my mind. I think where I'm at right now is probably like a 7-ish to start with. I think it's a good game. I just don't know if I'm completely sold on it yet. Maybe once I unlock more stuff, because it does feel a little basic when you first start. It's like, okay, light, heavy, dodge, light, some more. But it does seem like from what I've watched so many reviews before buying it too, and then they're like, oh yeah, the more you unlock, the better it gets. So that's good to know. But that opening scene really does sell the game. Like, it's impressive and it looks really cool. And I was like, okay, cool. This is what we're going with, God of War style. I can get down with that. And I really appreciate the non-open world. It's nice
yeah.
after Elden Ring and everything else going on. It's nice just to have these small areas, and heavy focus on making it look extremely realistic. And I mean, we'll say pushing the PS5, right?
Yeah.
I
I
think you'll
think
go ahead.
we're gonna have to be careful with giving scores to this game, just
Yeah.
because like the IGN people are not gonna like hearing it's a 7.
Yeah, it's
A
Wow.
true.
7?
Yep.
A 7? How dare we?
Right.
Dare we give this game a 7? This is the 10 of all 10s.
Yeah.
Right.
We're complaining about this game? Oh no. I'm
I,
gonna I'm gonna
They
have to
have been on a
moderate
high horse about this game.
they have.
I'm gonna have to moderate so many haters out of our comment section. It's
Right.
ridiculous.
I honestly didn't even look at the IGN review. I just watched like so many different like YouTube
Right.
reviews, and I was just like, let me just figure this out, because I was on the fence, and I bought it the day it came out. I didn't pre-order it or anything, but I was like, all right. Like I told you before we started recording, like my goal was, if I hadn't beat Neo, I wasn't gonna buy it, but I beat Neo the day before it came out. So I was like, okay, cool. Now I'll jump into it, I guess.
Yeah. Yep.
It might take me a while to get through it though, honestly, because I feel like I'm gonna play it in like short
Yeah.
bursts.
Or it gets dropped completely because it's
It
that
might.
we're about to
'Cause
get an avalanche of games. In the
Outlaws
next
is next
2 weeks.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might get dropped. We'll see.
I'm committed to finishing it because I think one of the
Good.
joys of the game is finding out who is the next boss.
Yeah.
There's been a wide array, and that's the last thing I'll say. There's been a wide array of different bosses. Some are animal like, some are just like your classic like samurai or noble that like just is really good with a spear. So like there's been a wide array only in the first area. I think that would be the driving force for me, is trying to figure out who is the next boss, who is the next mini boss. There's one point in the game where you fight like two in a row. You don't even realize you fight two in a row. It's just that they didn't plop enemies between when you finished one and when you like and the area it takes to get to the next one. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. But I think it's great for the year 2024, that there are two overly, sorry, I don't want to say in a negative sense, that there are two ambitious games done by teams that focused mainly on mobile games. We got Stellar Blade earlier this year, and now we got this one. So
You'll have
Whoa,
to.
whoa, whoa! Don't compare those two.
Yeah, we hold Stellar Blade in high regard on this
yeah, we're
podcast. So,
IGN for Stellar Blade.
yeah, so
I would
if
actually
you,
say they're pretty close, in my opinion. They're pretty close. They're
I'm
both
interested.
sevens.
I'm interested. Like Craig, I want you to keep playing it.
Yeah.
And then at the end of this year, I need like,
Which one's better?
yeah, which one is better?
Right
Like,
now,
is
I
it
would
Stellar
say
Blade?
I
It's
would say
Black.
Stellar Blade right now. For
I would
sure.
agree. I would agree.
But we'll see if that changes.
Perfect. I'll be honest with you guys. I really haven't played any games. I haven't touched my Xbox or my PlayStation in about a week now. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Killing it.
You guys go ahead. Talk about the any other games you might have played or anything else you want to mention.
I mean, I beat Neo.
Yeah.
There was that. Nothing
And
really to report. It was a great time. I'll get into Neo 2, but now is not the time. There's too
Yeah.
many games.
and for me, I took a slight break. When I say break, I mean played maybe like an hour less of college football to get it out of my system because I knew I was going to be putting it down until
Yeah, you just gotta stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
Put it
yeah,
down.
it's been like 1 full month. I really put a lot of work into it, and I'm happy that I purchased the game, and I'm happy that I have you two to get me excited about games like this, and to
Mhm.
reinvigorate that. So that's all I've really been doing.
Fair.
Yeah, college football starts up next week.
Yes,
So
it does.
Don't need the game anymore. We're gonna be watching them
No, that
Yeah.
means I'll probably play it again.
while watching
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
It's do you get that feeling too? So like when I watch like for example like NFL games, I
Mhm.
get a weird urge to play Madden,
Yep.
and I hate it
Every
because
time.
it's gonna make me buy it at full price.
Yep.
I'm gonna try not to, but
Yeah, the college football one always hurt because I'd watch and be like, man, I could play a college football game right now. But there
Yeah.
never was one.
It's the
So
energy.
I'm sure I'll play it again. Usually it's after like a tough loss and you're like, I'm gonna go just absolutely demolish this team in college football to feel better about myself.
yeah, if I was the coach, we wouldn't
Yeah.
have these issues. But
Yep.
Right.
That's what the game's there for.
Call a run play on 3rd and 16 at the end of the game.
But all right. If that's all the games or anything, we can then quickly move into movies, which Craig and I are on
Yes.
a Studio Ghibli watch together a thon sort of thing.
Yep.
I watched My Neighbor Totoro.
So did I. I also watched another episode of Konosuba.
Okay.
That's still going.
Yeah, you
All
are
right.
you are in your anime bag.
I really
I
am
love
right
it.
now.
Continue. Please continue with that. Do it.
How's your rewatch, Barry?
Right.
I kind of forget like My Neighbor Totoro. It is a really fun, like enjoyable movie. Like I can't help with like anime that like the whole thing is like forest spirits. They help them with their mom, which is in the hospital, and like of course eventually they hear that the mother's sick, and I keep thinking like, oh no, please don't tell me the mom dies. I don't want the mom to die. Please don't do it. And then it proceeds to proceeds to not have the mother die. I'm sorry. I don't care if I spoil this for you. This
old.
movie's over 20. Yeah, I think it's over 30 or 40 years old at this point. Get over yourselves.
Get over yourself, sir.
But like I keep having Totoro smile in my head, and I'm thinking, wait, is he gonna eat the girl? Like that's what like it looks mischievous in a way when he smiles. So part of me is like, oh, something weird's gonna happen here. But he just ends up being a big old forest spirit.
He's a big old forest spirit.
I think I still like Spirited Away better between the two so far.
I would too, yeah. I would too.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining. It's just not what I expected out of that movie from what I've heard. I was like, oh, this is not at all what I was thinking, but entertaining. I really enjoy the cat bus. Makes me happy.
Yeah,
cat bus running across the fields. But yeah, what's the next one? What's on the list?
I think we were either between My Neighbor Totoro and Kiki's Delivery Service
all right, so we
last
go
time.
Kiki.
So we go Kiki's.
Okay,
we go
Kiki's.
Fair.
What about you, Craig?
All right.
I watched the the Fall Guy and Furiosa.
Okay.
There we go.
I'm going to start with Furiosa. I had a similar take as to my fine gentleman on this podcast. It wasn't like the first one. I understand you're telling a different story, but I mean, there were still over the top action scenes and such like that, but I found myself not having the same thrill as I did in the Mad Max like original, like I guess what I would say is the last movie, because that wouldn't be the original Mad Max. I think there was a sense of urgency that came with this one, with the first one, and this one had its parts that kind of middled out for a little bit in terms of the intensity and are they surviving. I mean, there's a lot of the movie where you're like, oh my god, is Furiosa going to survive this? Like everybody's dying around them, that type of thing. But it was cool seeing the backstory of essentially what was the sanctuary, and how a lot of the points of interest were ran, you know, like Gastown, and all those other places. But like I liked it. I just didn't have that same feeling that I had from the first one. And that's fine. Like it is a different story. It is a different story. And then Fall Guy, amazing. Completely 100% utterly amazing. Ryan Gosling does not disappoint. It's not that he did. It's just that he does not.
He has before.
I think that certain people, there comes a time where they just take a drastic comedic turn in their career and it just glows them up. And that's Ryan Gosling at the moment in Hollywood. He's embracing the comedic side. He did the drama roles. He did the heartthrob roles. He incorporates that stuff into his acting career now. But there's just something about this movie, the way it was constructed, the way you learn at the end what actual scenes he was doing, I almost said choreography for, but the stuntmenning and such for what he did himself. And there was interjections of comedy that were just quite laughable. Like I was having, and when I say laughable, meaning I was laughing. My wife was cackling. You know, I was cackling at it.
Yeah.
And I think it's an awesome combination of good storytelling, great action scenes, an interesting twist that you can kind of guess. Maybe sometimes you can't, you know, depending on the watcher. But I can't do anything but rant and rave about Fall Guy. It's going to be a once a year movie. I don't know what time of year we'll watch it, but it's a once a year movie at least.
Okay.
I recommend it highly. It's going to be, Craig, I don't know where it is for you, but it may be a top 5 for me. Like I don't think it's moving.
Top 10 probably.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of movies too.
Craig has seen a lot of movies though.
And everything keeps getting bumped down as new stuff comes out, like Alien and all that has been like bumping stuff down. So
before we end here, I know you talked about Konosuba. I do want to just do a quick thing here with I know I've told you guys to watch it before. I'm not sure if you guys ever gave it a chance yet, but I have been thinking week in and week out about Oshi No Ko, which I mentioned last year, anime. Season 2 is a decent amount of episodes out. I really didn't know how it would follow up and be any better, but it is so good. It is such a fun anime. It's more drama, but has action and not how you expect it to be.
Okay.
I just really like the dark tones of this anime underlying really bright, pretty colors. So it's kind of this really stark contrast that I dig for it. Again, either of you want to watch it, I'll give you my High Dive account. But
it's on Hulu.
Is it on Hulu?
Yep.
I think first season might be. I'm not sure about the second one.
Okay.
But
I'll check it out.
Watch the first season.
I'm already fully in an anime corner right now, so
yeah, you might as well keep going.
Yeah.
You gotta let me know what you think of the first episode, though.
Okay.
Right.
First episode's the big deal. First episode's the biggest thing.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Perfect. I need someone else to talk to about this. I need desperately.
Totally
Yeah,
doable.
most definitely.
In between all my other animes that I'm juggling right now,
I love that you're
we'll get
just
it in there.
juggling. I love that you're juggling animes. Look at Craig's juggling animes. He's playing Neo over and over again.
Yep.
Craig.
I know it was just because there has been like a little bit of a lull with movies where like I'm caught up and like there's a few movies I have to watch, but for the most part I'm like, what do I put on at night? And anime is perfect because it's like 20 minutes, you know, and you're most of them and you're in and out, and that's like the perfect bite size for me right now. So I'll definitely check it out.
Cool. All right. But that's gonna be it for the podcast again this week. A little bit shorter. We did say it would be shorter. Good job. We news 30 minutes, everything else 20 minutes. We did a good job of that and getting in our Black Wukong takes, which again I will have to deal with the haters for later.
All them haters.
If you are listening, please on your podcast listening platform of choice, please make sure to like and subscribe. Every like I'd appreciate is like a happy birthday message or like, haha, you're old, Barry. You're not young anymore. I appreciate that. And if you could like and subscribe, every subscriber, new subscriber since this episode means they like old Barry rather than young Barry. So I'm trying to get an idea of who you like more. But we appreciate all of the support we always get from you guys. We hope you enjoy the rest of your week and the rest of your month here. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.